Hi guys, and thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. My name is Yo, and if you want to know how I achieved this haircut, just keep watching. Okay, I'm just showing you guys my ends, my colored ends. I colored my hair about a year ago when I first went natural, thinking that by me coloring my hair, I would wear my hair in its natural curly state. But I didn't, because I did not know how to control my hair. So instead, I kept my hair braided underneath wigs. I kept wigs for a protective style. So my ends are all dry, brittle, damaged. They puff whenever I try to straighten my hair. You know, all that great stuff. So here I am just detangling my hair, making sure it's all good and as less knotted as it can possibly be in this state. I did have my hair braided for about 4 days prior to this. As I said, I do wear wigs. Now I'm going to part around my hair. I will be cutting the sides and the back shorter than the top. So to make it a little bit easier on myself, I go ahead and separate my hair into 4 sections. The top will be one section, and then the sides will be its own section, and in the back will be its own section. And I do use the snagless black scrunchies that you'll find at Walmart. Oh my god, my face. So on to the cutting. I used 2 separate techniques as I was cutting my hair. For the first side of my hair, I used a comb and just combed it straight out. That is a very, very small tooth comb, and since my hair is kind of curly, then it held my hair pretty well. This is the, well, not that one. Hold on. This comb is the small tooth comb that holds my hair better. So yeah, I just make sure that it is as less kinky as it can be as I'm cutting it. And now I'm just kind of going back and making sure I did a good job of keeping it all even. And here's the other side, the other section of that side that I'm cutting. The key to this technique is, if you're going to use a comb, make sure it's a small tooth comb that will kind of help hold your hair. Like I said, that kept my hair pretty maintained under that. And pull it straight out. You have to pull your hair straight out to make sure that it is a good straight cut. Now on to the other side. I decided to change my technique, and instead of using the small tooth comb, I used my fingers. And this, if you're a beginner cutter, this will probably be your best method of cutting your hair, because it's easier to make sure your hair is being held, being straight out. It's probably the best way to cut your hair, but for whatever reason I decided to use the small tooth comb for the first side. And so now I am going to take my first cut of hair and I'm going to line it up with the next section of hair, and make sure it's all even. Get that little snag up there. And now I'm just kind of checking to make sure that it's as even as it can be on both sides. I mean, as you know, I'm doing this at home. I'm not a professional hair stylist, but I do a pretty good job of maintaining my hair if I take the time out to do it. So here's the next cut. Basically same thing. You pull your hair from before and just make sure it's all even. And once again, because I have pretty kinky hair, I try to make sure I keep it detangled as I go through and do this cut. I'm just checking both sides again, making sure they're even as possible for me. And I cut them downward because I want my sides to kind of go over my ear. And I also like for my back to be a little bit longer, so I will retain some of my length in the back as well. And now to the back of my hair. So for a lot of the beginners out there, this will be the toughest part to do. Those are my knotted ends. Aren't they so beautiful? But you want to base all of the rest of your hair, the cut, on that first cut. So there goes those ends. Bye-bye. So you can see here, I tilt my head to the side so I can kind of get a better angle, a better view of what's going on back there. And like I said, I cut in a downward cut to kind of keep some of my length back there in the back of my head. And onto the other side, basically same thing. I'm going to kind of guesstimate to make sure that I have this side going to be the same length as that side. And mirrors are your best friend. If you don't feel confident in cutting the back of your hair, kind of prop up a mirror in front of you so you can see the back of your head. Since I wear my hair curly a lot of the times, I am not concerned about this cut just being 100% perfect. About a year or maybe 6 months, I'll probably go through and straighten my hair out, and then I'll go back through and make sure that everything is 100% straight. But until I straighten my hair, I will maintain a monthly trim on my hair, and I do the search and destroy method, which basically means I go through and I find the fairy knots and I cut them out. And you guys can see that I go from side to side as I'm cutting the back of my hair, just to kind of make sure I keep everything as even as possible on both sides. So once I get to the middle, I'll have like a better idea of what length that should be. I do go off of feel. I really don't, I look at the back of my hair, but I don't really just, you know, care, I guess you could say. And now I'm just going around the back and kind of shaping it up. I do have a few like crazy loose strings out there, so I'm just kind of trimming those up, and I'm going to trim just a little bit of the back up just to make it look better whenever I have it down and curly. Just kind of showing you guys that is what my cuts look like. Now to the top part, which is going to be the fun part. So I section it off into 3 big sections, and here I am detangling my hair once again. And here I don't cut in a downward method or anything, and especially since I'm cutting to get the brown, the colored damaged ends out of my hair, I'm just cutting straight across. And of course, beginners will find this to be the easiest of the haircut, to cut the front of your hair, because you can see it the easiest. But since I have cut that first part, I'm going to line it up there and I'm going to cut again. And I know that kind of looked like a downward method, but it gets weird after that first section of hair when I start cutting. It's like, you know how you do one side of your hair and you hold the comb or the curling iron one way on one side and you try to duplicate it on the other side? It gets weird like that when I'm cutting the front of my hair. And I have to tell y'all, as I was cutting my hair, like my hair felt so good after I got those damaged ends off of there. Like I was trying to like slowly trim those brown ends out of my hair. That's why in some, like right here, I really don't have that much brown there because I've already trimmed a lot of it out. I tried to wear my hair out like last week and had a flipping hair crisis. My hair would not blend in with my wig. I couldn't deal. I could not deal. It was homecoming. I had to be cute or whatever, and that was just messing up my whole night. So that's why I decided to go ahead and go on and just cut it all out. Like there's no point in holding on to your dead ends. If they're that bad, just let them go. Just let them go, guys. Your hair will thank you, and your hair will feel like a million times better. keep on detangling that hair, especially if you have 4A, 4B hair, 4C hair. Make sure you keep it detangled as you go, because if your hair is like mine, it will like tangle up as soon as you take it out of the ponytail. Like you have to comb it again. You have to. And a quick shot of all those ends going bye-bye. This is after my wash and deep condition. I'll leave details of what I use for my wash day. I use Cantu Leave-in hair conditioner, and I just work it through my hair. You know, it says to use a nickel size or some crazy stuff like that, but I use about a palm full. This is my heaven sent product. It is Shea Moisture Omega 369 Rescue and Repair Curl Defining Smoothie. It is awesome. Like, my hair it curls when it's wet, but after it dries, it does not curl anymore. And this product actually helps my hair stay curled after it's dry. And of course, I have the lovely Eco Black Castor and Flaxseed Oil Gel, and I'm using that to tame my edges for the first round. And since my hair is so kinky and curly, I have to do 2 rounds of getting those edges under control. And so now I'm just going through and kind of defining my curls a little bit. I don't go through and like define every curl in my head. I really don't have time for that. So I could like kind of define the front end of it, make sure it's all pretty and curly and stuff. And since I use that Omega 369 curl defining smoothie, I really don't have to do too much to achieve the curls that I like. And as you guys saw, my hair just basically eats up any part that I put in it. So I secure my hair with bobby pins to keep my part visible and as deep as I like it. And now for round 2 of getting these edges controlled and tamed, I use Gorilla Glue, Gorilla Snot Gel, whatever you like to call it. You can find it at your beauty supply store, and you can also find it at Walmart. I have the one that's in the yellow jar, but they also have it in a black jar. A couple of texture shots of my hair. I believe I have 4A, 4B hair because my hair is actually curly, but it's super kinky and it's hard to define my curls, and that curling smoothie really does help. Thanks for watching my video, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments.